The restaurant industry is one of the most romanticized and ruthless markets. Few industries have suffered as much as restaurants in the past years with the pandemic, inflation, and soaring food costs. The failure rates and thin margins that restaurants endure are infamous, with alleged profits of less than 3%, and that 60 to 80% of restaurants reportedly never make it past 5 years. Lobbyists like the National Restaurant Association, who are incentivized to reshape narratives, have fought back, stating that such statistics are exaggerated and that the true failure rate is much lower at 17%. But the one universal truth that everyone agrees on is that the restaurant business is ruthless. Achieving profitability is hard, returns are unforgiving, upfront capital requirements are high, and scaling is difficult. As restaurants go, there's Italian, Mexican, Chinese, American, Japanese, and so on. But there is one type of restaurant that's considered to be the most lucrative and makes up over half of the top 100 highest grossing restaurants in the United States every year. That is the steakhouse. In America, the steakhouse is as much a cultural rite of passage as it is a fine dining establishment. When people go to steakhouses, it's for the experience as much as the food. They dress up, they expect quality service, and the meal serves as a platform for business or celebration. All steakhouses offer standard fare, like the New York Strip, the Porterhouse, the filet mignon, alongside mashed potatoes, Brussels sprouts, Caesar salad, and chocolate cake. While most restaurants aim to specialize in certain foods or offer unique items for differentiation, steakhouses thrive in conformity. Their goal is to serve tried and true classics with good ingredients, good execution, good service, and good ambiance. For steakhouses, the more predictable the menu and experience is, the better. Compared to fast casual restaurants where people look to dip in and out quickly and get as much bang for their buck as possible, customers go to steakhouses ready to splurge. While most restaurants optimize for high volume, low margin, steakhouses have higher margins built in as they charge premium prices to an audience that has high willingness to pay. A single steak, depending on the cut, can cost $50 to $100 at a steakhouse with the expectation that each diner orders their own. Side dishes like mashed potatoes, salad, fries, and asparagus are simple, low-cost items that are always heavily marked up. If a takeout shop charged $10 to $15 for fries or mashed potatoes alone, that would raise eyebrows, but at a steakhouse no one would question such a price. Alcohol is another high-margin item that adds to the bottom line. The fancier the steakhouse, the more they invest in their wine, making it part of the decor with cellars and displays right when diners walk in. The focus on ingredients, service, execution, and ambiance, along with a high-end target market, makes steakhouses inherently difficult to scale as there are few ways to automate or streamline a business that requires so much human capital. At the same time, people don't dine on steakhouses every week, which means demand can be met with a handful of steakhouses in any given area. In this episode, we'll cover the business of steakhouses and cover the strategies of the 3 of the biggest chains in the world, who each have their own strategy and go after diners at very different price points: Outback Steakhouse, Texas Roadhouse, and Ruth Chris. Ruth Chris is a classic high-end steakhouse that charges top dollar and prides itself on its service and USDA prime beef. Ruth Chris's target audience is the 35 to 65-year-old business-centric, high-paying, upper-middle-class individual or couple. Their menu features traditional culinary opulence priced from $35 to $100, with prime and choice-grade cuts, alongside shrimp, chops, lobster, chilled seafood towers, and desserts like bread pudding and cheesecake. Ruth Chris's differentiation is its signature sizzling fashion, where steaks are served on 500-degree plates in pools of boiling butter. Each location carries over 250 options for wine for customers to choose from that range from $50 to $1,000 a bottle, alongside cocktail, beer, and liquor options. When customers walk into Ruth Chris, they drop on average $90 for their meal. The average check for Ruth Chris has grown in the past decade from $70 to $90, not necessarily ahead of inflation, but still at a healthy rate. In the past 4 years, on average, $18 of that $90 is spent on beverages, and the remaining $72 is spent on food. Red wine and steak is a classic pairing, and while the company no longer reports how much wine it sells, historical data shows that wine made up 60% of all beverages for a 7-year period between 2010 and 2017. With 150 restaurants spread across North America and Asia, Ruth Chris is the largest upscale steakhouse chain in the world. At first glance, 150 locations is not a lot. To put it into perspective, the Cheesecake Factory has 330 restaurants in North America alone, double of what Ruth Chris has in the entire world. Olive Garden has over 800 restaurants in North America. IHOP and Chili each have over 1,600 restaurants in the United States. While fast casual restaurants optimize for volume, broad appeal, and actively invest in simplifying their service or food, as a higher-end establishment, Ruth Chris can't scale in the same fashion. In the past decade, Ruth Chris has opened on average just 2 restaurants every year. Despite having such a small footprint,
그렇죠, 그렇죠.